just about 18 slides, but what it is trying to conjure is the consequence of mismanagement of diversity for the organization's survival, and there are a few cases which I have here. So, why is diversity mismanagement important? Not only should the organization utilize the diversity that exists, but they should also make a deliberate effort to avoid its mismanagement. Therefore, an understanding of what is required, what is expected, is also very, very, very important. So, if these are true, if the organization acts without having knowledge of current diversity issues, then that is very problematic. If it is unaware of the infringement that any related decision might cause, then again, that's a very, very important issue. And we're going to be looking at a few examples of organizations, therefore, which did not seem able to understand what it was actually doing in terms of the decisions. So if the information that is available, we have many, many sources of information. We have marketing intelligence, remember we were talking about that, which, of course, you have that among your workforce. So people in the workforce, they are members of the different groups. So we've got Christians, we've got people of Islamic faith, we've got all the different representation in terms of religion, Sikhs, etc. If we're doing things which might infringe one of these groups, then members of these groups within the organization should know about it. However, if the organization does not promote diversity from within, then these people are going to feel intimidated to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. So they know, management knows best, you probably say, but they, as members of the different groups that are represented, would know. So, if they violate the culture, then they might, of course, create animosity among particular groups.
Do I have this in my folder?
Oh, yes. So we might have, for example, long-term damage to the customer or client relationship that the organization actually has. And once we have a shift, then it's very, very difficult to bring back these people, to have continuing patronage, to have continuing support for the organization. So these people are going to lose faith, they're going to go elsewhere, and the task is very, very difficult in terms of bringing them on board. So it's bad news for the organization. Not only will the offending groups, as we will see from the examples to follow, stage boycott of the services or products, but other people will also support that. So we have sensitized and being incensed. So the loss of reputation in the market is going to make it difficult for the confidence to be rebuilt, and therefore it's a loss multiplier for the organization. Two types of costs will be direct and indirect. And we're looking at, for example, the indirect cost will be the consequence of loss of potential patronage, while the direct cost could be the cost in terms of what is spent on the development of the product. There's cost of sales of the product. So that's a waste of investment. New product lines, actual production, the direct loss on these, the actual cost of marketing and promotion. And again, we're going to be, the underutilization of the workforce. So we're giving Nike as an example. Nike depicted violence against women during the Sydney Olympic. Cost: NBC pulled the advertisement following the first showing, creating loss of sales and the cost of intended campaign. Again, we had another infringement by Nike, which is the use of the Islamic symbol on its footwear or trainers. And then we find that there was a recall. Now, when you have a recall of product, the actual cost of the recall is going to be heavy.
Yeah.
The compensation for the people following the recall is going to be heavy. The potential for the product also is going to suffer. Liz Claiborne Incorporated, the DKNY jeans, we were hinting yesterday, not only did they put the Islamic verse on the pocket of the jeans, but because they had to sit on the jeans, then of course the Consulate on American Islamic Relations voiced disgust, and again the product had to be recalled. Burger King had an advertisement which said, featured a character using the name Rashid, which said peace, and went on to praise the company's bacon cheddar sandwich. The bacon, as you know, Islamic religion does not permit the consumption of meat of the pig, and therefore all pork-related products would have been included. So that's again a no-no, and therefore this was frowned upon by the Islamic Council, and this created problem for the relationship between the Burger King and its dedicated customers.
And Burger King thought he was trying to woo the Islamic community by saying Rashid.
Yes.
Not saying that.
Yeah, so Rashid is the person who is saying, he's eating the burger and saying, oh, it's great, it's great. But this is not an ordinary burger. It was a bacon cheeseburger. So had they taken the bacon out, then it probably would have been fine. It would have been fine because there was no infringement there.
Oh.
We also have Coca-Cola. Persistent practices incorporated as racial discrimination, interpreted, as racial discrimination. Immediate cost was $192.2 million to victim legal cost stated mandatory task force, because the Equal Opportunities Commission in the United States, then they made a ruling that they must set up a task force, and I think they actually named the person who should manage that task force in order to get Coca-Cola in line with Equal Opportunities regulation, and that was the fine that they had 192.5 million. Who wants to lose that much
It's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money to lose. Okay. So, what therefore this is suggesting is that if these people were using the people within their workforce to scrutinize their policies, then they would not have gone public with these advertisements. If they felt that it was okay for them to go to the advertisement section, to the marketing section, to the promotion section, and say, I am sorry, but although you are the director, I would like to tell you something. This is going to create fury among, and they can say, my people. But in my mind, they did not feel comfortable saying that. If they had brought in these people, if you're going to put an advertisement public, don't you think the first thing to do,
show it to your members?
Let them see,
yes.
Let them comment.
If
they don't want to talk in the open, give them the opportunity to make comments.
Yes.
Make it anonymous if they don't want you to know. And the most likely thing is that they're going to tell you that this is wrong. I am sorry, but I am an Islamic person. I am a Muslim. And I don't like this. I am a woman. And I feel very embarrassed
by these adverts.
And I think you should not, as a company, be promoting violence among women. It is not to be seen.
So that will give you a second thought.
Yes. Yes.
And you see how to modify.
Okay. So let's have a look at some of the people who have therefore